I was shocked to discover that the patient on the operating table needing a heart transplant from me was my enemy. If I slipped for a moment, a medical accident could easily be covered up. He was so frightened he tried to run away. I immediately had him restrained and ordered the anesthetic dose increased. The reason I decided to be ruthless was entirely his own doing. Just an hour earlier, the arrogant man had been eyeing my wife and daughter while hospitalized, not knowing they were my family. He deliberately provoked them and had his men drag them out of the elevator. Relying on his wealthy father, he acted with impunity and no one dared intervene. He even produced a bottle of medical alcohol and said he would release them only if my wife drank it. My wife, wanting the heart rushed to surgery, swallowed the alcohol like water. We thought we could leave, but he changed his mind. Curious about what was in the box we were guarding with our lives, he snatched it away. He did not realize that action would make him regret it forever. Inside was the heart that matched him. It turned out he suffered from severe heart disease and needed a transplant to survive. I am a cardiothoracic surgeon with 20 years of practice and a perfect record of successful surgeries. His father knelt and begged me personally to perform the operation. By coincidence, my own son had died in an accident, and his organs were donated willingly. His heart matched this rich kid. So my wife and daughter brought the heart to the hospital, only to be harassed by this scum. As the box was about to be opened, my wife shoved him and reclaimed it because it was my son's last wish that the matched recipient be saved. She didn't know the person she wanted to save was this very scumbag. He flew into a rage, grabbed the box, and smashed it toward my wife. His men warned that continued rough handling might damage the heart, but he arrogantly said this heart had ruined his years of pleasure, and today everything would change. He ordered my wife and daughter restrained and even threatened to violate them. My daughter-in-law shouted that her father was his chief surgeon, and that if he continued, she would refuse to let her father operate. He didn't believe her and intended to smash the box on the spot. At that moment, I was prepping for surgery and rushed to the scene when I learned my family was being assaulted. When I saw my daughter-in-law, she was already injured, and I had to call the obstetrics team immediately. He grabbed the phone and smashed it to the floor. I tried to calm things with my doctor authority, but he and his men remained domineering. When I identified myself as the surgeon for the wealthy kid, he phoned his father, only to learn I had already entered the operating room. He became convinced I was an imposter and his men began to beat me. In the crisis, his father finally arrived, and the wealthy son suddenly had a heart attack. They rushed him to the OR in panic, and in the chaos, they left me lying on the ground. In that moment, I swore I would make him pay, but the priority was to get my daughter-in-law to the obstetrics unit. Despite our efforts, the baby could not be saved, and the mother suffered massive bleeding. I seethed with anger and clenched my fists, vowing to make him suffer twice the pain he had caused my daughter-in-law. Now he waits in the operating room as the surgery is about to begin. Family members were asked to step outside, and that is when my revenge begins. He begged me to save him, but when he saw my face, he was utterly shocked. He tried to flee, but it was already too late.